Sometimes the first time is the best time. Kick it! Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. Thanks for all your subscribers and viewers. I know we got tons of things to pick from on the interweb. Thanks for coming to Brian's Funhouse. Debuts were the best records from these bands. We're going to do a top 11 because I give you one more than your average top 10 list. Next week I'm probably going to do where the second record was the best record from the band or artist. Of course, let me know in the comments below what records you think when a band came out or an artist came out with their debut, they peaked early and it was all downhill from them. Or that was just the best one. Like the other ones don't suck, but the first one was like the best. Some bands need a lot of time to get into their groove. Bands like Styx, REO, Rush, Pink Floyd, Queen, Led Zeppelin. I believe all those bands got better after like the first two albums. They kind of found their groove. Other bands like these bands here, I think the first one was their best. This band came out of nowhere in 2004. I would describe them as like an American pop rock band. Of course, talking about the Killers. This is Hot Fuss from 2004. I saw them in summer 2005 and they were still young and hungry and touring on this record when I lived in Tampa, and it was an amazing, amazing show. It was a great show. For me, the Killers, they're not a band I really pay attention to anymore. I don't pay attention to his solo work. I don't pay attention to their albums anymore. To me, they just, when this came out, yeah, it was getting played a lot on radio, but it was good. It was refreshing. It was a great record. Mr. Brightside, Somebody Told Me. Actually, this is one of these albums I can just play all the way through. On their other ones, there are some songs that kind of like, let me get past this one. So yeah, Killers, Hot Fuss, 2004. Their debut is their strongest. Little band from across the pond called The Police. Sting and the Boys. I believe Outlandish de Amor is their strongest. Now, I love Synchronicity. It takes me back to the 80s, and I love every track on it. And they have a few albums that I love every track on it. But their debut from 78 was So Lonely, Roxanne, Born in the 50s. I think if I had to pick, someone's like, hey, you can only have one of every band, sort of like a weird version of the Ark, which I can't, some people believe Noah's Ark happened. I work with animals. There's no way in hell you're getting two of every animal on a wooden ship. It's just a fable, people. It's a fable. God said to me, hey, Brian of Abraham, or whatever he would call me, you only can get one record from every artist. Which would it be? I think I would pick this one. So since it's their debut, it's why it's on this list. Strongest record from the Police, their debut, Outlandish de Amor. 1976, the world needed a kick in the butt, straight ahead rock and roll. The Ramones from New York City were more than happy to do that to the world. Some would argue they're the first punk band. This band, they're kind of like AC/DC for me, where every, one of those early records has a lot to offer, obviously. They're a great band. They don't do things that really suck. They do things that are great, or they do things that are good. But looking back at the track listings, I gotta say, again, if I was to pick one record from the band, it would be this one. It's their debut, the Ramones. You got Beat on the Brat, Judy is a Punk, I Want to Be Your Boyfriend, I Don't Want to Go Down to the Basement. It's just great songs. Loudmouth, yeah. Ramones. Debut is their best. 1987, this band took the world. Had it in the palm of their hands. Welcome to the Jungle, Sweet Child of Mine. Of course, talking about Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, and this destroyed the charts, you may say. 1987, Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses. This is their best album. They peaked with their debut. 1994, of course, a lot of people would associate that year with the year that Green Day broke into the mainstream with their major label debut, Dookie. It's their third proper studio album. But this band was also kind of, there was still the Seattle sound. A lot of bands from Seattle hanging out, creating that Seattle sound, but this band was like just sweet little pop rock. They had some cute videos and everyone loved it. Talking about Weezer, their Blue album, or their debut album, I believe is their best. I do like their first four albums. This band, kind of like the Killers, I don't pay attention to them anymore. I think they have like 400 albums out, a tan, a red, a pink, purple, green, I don't know. Yeah, they don't grab me as much as they did with this first album. I do like their first four, like I said, but that's all I kind of need from them. I don't seem to pursue any of their later albums very much. My Name is Jonas. This is probably, if I had a list of bands that peaked with their first song, is my favorite song, that would be it. First song, first album is my favorite song from Weezer. But Say It Ain't So. Of course, we all heard the Sweater song way, 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 way too much. But yeah, this is a great holiday. This is a great album. I just saw them live when they performed this album, maybe like 6 years ago or something like that, where they played a whole album. They played that. That was great. Late spring, summer 1991. Heavily involved in the Chicago music scene, paying attention to all the bands that were going to break it. You know, we were going to show those Seattle boys how it's done. And this band led the pack for me. They were on a major label. Wasn't listening to a lot of major label artists at 91. It was more like indie stuff and punk stuff. But I couldn't stop listening to this one. I could not stop listening to this one. And this one, the first two records of this band go back and forth. But really looking at the tracks and what songs I really like to hear from this band, it'd have to be this one. So Smashing Pumpkins, their debut for me, is favorite from them. If I had to pick only one album of theirs to bring to an island or on an arc, it would be this one. Their debut, starts with I Am One. Of course, the album's called Gish from 91. It's I Am One. It's got Rhinoceros. Let's look at these track listings. Bury Me, Crush, Snail, Suffer. Yeah, this is a piece of art. You got to put this one in a Smithsonian. How to be a great alternative rock band. Put this one up there. If you Google top debuts of all time, easily this one's going to show up all the time on it, and there's a reason for it. It's an amazing record. Came out June 1978, talking about the Cars debut. Got a little happy model on the front, smiling and staring that wheel. I was told, just because I was looking up, trying to figure out when exactly these albums came out, and I was told that the drummer liked to design the art stuff, and he wanted this to be the cover, I believe, but they used it in the front. But the album label said, nah, let's get that Russian model on there. Let's get that Rushki to sell some copies. So she's on it, but it is an amazing, amazing debut. You want to announce to the rock and roll world, hey, here we are. We're here to be part of this, soon to be a classic rock band. Good Times Roll. My Best Friend's Girl, Just What I Needed. Talk about 1, 2, 3 punch. Amazing songs. Of course, side 2 has Moving in Stereo. Where do I have more room in this video? Okay, so here I have more room in this video. Moving in Stereo, Phoebe Cates. That song. Okay. Bye Bye Love. And really, all mix up all the songs. That's why it's strong. If I had to bring one Cars record onto that Islander arc, their debut, Cars. 1984, Big Brother was watching me, and everyone was watching Van Halen and Jump and all that. But this record probably spent probably easily top 2 or 3 times on my turntable. If I had to pick an album that was on my turntable the most, like I said, this would be in the top 3 of that. No doubt. Their first full-length studio release, said full-length because they did have the EP before this, Out of the Cellar by Rat, Stephen Percy, Robin Crosby, and the boys were just killing it. An amazing record. Wanted Man, You're in Trouble, of course, Round and Round, In Your Direction, She Wants Money, maybe my favorite song on it with I'm Insane. I like the upbeat stuff from Rat. This is why, as they went on and put out more albums, I liked it. I was all good. I didn't like Way Cool Jr. I thought that song was horrible. But the first album to me is their strongest. Rat, Out of the Cellar from 1984. Boston. Only a few years ago I realized that was a flying guitar spaceship. I always thought it was just a spaceship. But they are flying guitars. The sonic sounds he gets out of the guitars, it's just amazing. High-pitched vocals. This is just good stuff. More Than a Feeling. Foreplay with Long Time. Hitchin' a Ride. Let Me Take You Home Tonight. Every track is just really fun. This was their strongest one. I do love Third Stage a lot as well, but like I said, if I had to pick one record, I think everyone would agree if they were to pick one record from Boston, it would be their debut. Now, in 1977, this band came out. A little band called Foreigner. Yeah, an amazing record. Feels Like the First Time, Cold as Ice, Star Rider, Head Knocker, Long Way from Home. Just amazing songs. Mick Jones did an amazing job co-writing the songs, playing guitar. I believe Foreigner right now is on their farewell tour. Of course, I don't think they have any original. I think Mick Jones sometimes appears. I've seen Foreigner like 3 or 4 times within the last 15 years, and Mick Jones has shown up to all the shows that I've seen them play. Of course, Kelly from Hurricane is singing, does a great job. And oddly enough, just 2 days ago, I saw Lou Gramm for the first time, original singer of Foreigner. I thought he sounded amazing. Of course, he's had serious health problems, like brain surgery, and he couldn't sing anymore, could hardly talk. He's 73. When he was in his pocket with the mid to high range, you heard that voice, you're like, holy shit, that's the Foreigner voice. Oh my God. Yeah, it was like pitchy sometimes if he went too high, or even sometimes with getting low, but man, when he was in his pocket, that voice sounded amazing. Hats off to Lou Gramm, still kicking. I think he's touring, so go see him. It's sung a lot of songs from this for a reason. This is their best record. A lot of people like Foreigner 4. I get it. In the 80s, Urgent. I don't ever need to hear that song again. But they have a lot of slow jams, a lot of great songs. But to me, if I'm picking one Foreigner album, it's this one. And really, seeing Lou Gramm at a carnival. You get your food, you got your funnel cakes. Should not have eaten the whole thing. Don't eat a whole funnel cake, people. Especially when you get older. Your insides are like, no, what are you doing? Whole funnel cake? Please don't do that. The whole carnival festival was fun. Topped it off with Lou Gramm. It was free, too. It was a free concert. I live free. Especially now as I'm broke. Alright, you've had 10. Let me give you 11, because I care about you people. Where the debut was the strongest from this artist. Now, this artist came out in 1991. I would say that I was turned on to him. That's a weird choice of words, but you know what I mean. By MTV News, Tabitha Soren, Kurt Loder, telling me what was happening in the world. And I believe they did a little piece on this dude from England or something, playing the acoustic guitar out on the street, making people happy, putting out an album. Who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Seal. I'm talking about Seal. Seal is an amazing artist. He's got other records, of course, Kiss Like Rose from the old Batman thing. That's on the second one, I believe. But to me, the debut is the strongest. Now, the debut vinyl was always on my list of things I wanted to buy here in the States. In order to get it, you got to pay a little bit of a price. In searching it just a few months ago, I realized that they reissued it. They reissued it late last year, 2022. So I'm like, I'm going to buy it one of these days, and here, pulled the trigger just last week. It came just a few days ago. Seal, the debut. Of course, it's got The Beginning, Deep Water, Crazy, Killer, Future Love Paradise is a great one. Show Me. Oh, the slow jams. And I tell you what, I was living in the basement in my mom's house, the house I grew up, when this came out, and I got it on CD, and I was having a date, and I remember I told my mom, tell me, she's going to ring the doorbell, but then you bring her downstairs, because that's where I was. Yeah, some of us lived in the basement. Some of us still do. I'm in the basement. This is my house now. And I'm like, I'm going to play Seal. Because at the time I was into punk rock stuff, but I didn't want to scare this girl. I wanted to show her that I had a light side to me, like a light rock side to me. Emotional. So yeah, sure enough, I hear the doorbell ring. My mom putting on a Seal record and just hanging out in my room. And then she walks down into the room, and I'm like, oh, didn't know you'd be over so fast. Here I am just listening to Seal. Yeah. It worked, though. It actually worked. Where that girl is now, no idea. Me, I'm in my basement still. It's made in Germany. All right. Good job, Germans. This is a 2 LP thing. I haven't really opened it. I opened it up to grab a CD. So this is kind of like an unboxing video. I opened it up to grab the CD of the remaster of the album, put it in the car, I've been listening to it for the last 2 days. Listened to it on the way to go see Lou Gramm. But there's rare outtakes. There's a live show from Ireland shortly after this came out. There's single edits and remixes and all that stuff. I'll show you that. I'm having a problem finding a sleeve to fit these. I have a few of these larger albums where it's got 4 albums in there. Heck, if I could find any freaking sleeves that fit these. So I just get a big clear plastic bag and put it in there. And I don't think it's color vinyl or anything like that. No, it's pretty just black and white. But yeah, it's Seal. It's kind of cool. So let me show you these inside artwork pictures. So yeah, it's 2 vinyl records and then 4 CDs. That's kind of cool. So there you go. Yeah, Seal hanging out with some birds, like the animal kingdom here. Yeah, it's cool. So I'm glad I have it. So yeah, if you're a Seal fan and you're like me, you're like, what? They put that out? Yeah, go grab it up. It's like $55. Not too bad for this whole big thing you get. So that's it. Like I said, stay tuned. Next week I'm going to do where the second record was the best from this band. And I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching.